in a nutshell, what would you say Portugal is?
Like it's secure, nothing like other countries. It's a safe country. Cost of living is lower than most European countries. Look at the climate. You know, look today.
Yeah,
beautiful. I know we're in the middle of summer, but look, there's not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful. There's always something to do, or there's something not to do. If you want to laze around in your garden all day, so be it. My name is Fred Young. I'm the founder of Fred Penn's PT. I'm here with Dylan and the latest guest on his podcast, The Simple Life in Portugal. I love sports and I love Portugal.
Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, The Simple Life, in a very special location. Fred's going to tell us about this location in a little bit, but I'm really happy to be joined here by Fred Young. Fred, thank you for being on the podcast.
You're welcome.
How are you today?
I'm very good. It's a little warm today. Quite nice where we are in the castle.
When I was pulling up here, it was about 31. So that's summer.
Yes,
it's summer.
Yeah, it's a bit above average, I think, for today.
For today, yeah. Before I ask you a bit about yourself, why don't you tell us where we are for those who are watching? We're in a nice location.
So we're in Óbidos, which is, how would you say, a town in the middle of Leiria.
Yeah, in the Leiria district.
And it's a medieval town. Actually, we're in the middle of the medieval festival here in Óbidos, which is on for the next week, I think, a week or 10 days. It's a good place to come along and spend a few hours.
Yeah, so for anyone that's ever in the Óbidos area around summer, the medieval festival is a
must. Really.
Is a must, yeah, yes, definitely.
Yes.
Fred, why don't you start off telling us a bit about you?
So my name's Fred Young. I am 71 years of age. I come from South Wales, the Rhondda Valleys. I spent 50 years in engineering. Started off in mining, as you do, coming from the Rhondda Valleys. There's not much else to do, so I spent the first 20 years working in a coal mine.
Okay.
And then when the mines closed in the 80s, I moved into the elevator and escalator industry.
Okay.
So I spent another 15, 16 years doing that, and I ended up in Heathrow Airport.
Okay.
So I spent the remainder of my time in Heathrow Airport as an engineer, and then later as an operations manager in Terminal 4. And then I retired from there in 2016 and moved here. I've got 2 children. They still live in South Wales. I've got five grandchildren.
5 grandchildren. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my life in a nutshell, really.
It's a good place to start. How did you first discover Portugal? Can you remember your first trip here?
So we came here in, I think it was 2012 or 2013 for a short holiday at winter time. We came in October. And
was that here on the Silver Coast, or was that?
No, it was down in where the racecourse is in.
Okay, Portimão.
No.
Estoril?
Estoril.
Okay.
Estoril.
Okay.
We actually stayed in the hotel that stands on the track.
Okay.
Really, really interesting hotel. It's got all the past drivers on the walls and trophies and stuff. Yeah, it's a really interesting hotel. Anyway, we stayed there for a while. It was, I think, considering it was October, it was like 15 degrees. So it was quite pleasant.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to the UK, which was at the time probably around 5.
15 is lovely. It's spring.
15 was the spring. Yeah, exactly. So that was our first taste of Portugal, and then later on we came back again. We stayed in the Algarve. I think we stayed around Portimão area. But I wanted to get to know the real Portugal. The Algarve is Portugal, obviously, but to me,
geographically, it's part of Portugal.
It's not the real Portugal.
Yeah.
You know, when you can walk down the street and get English breakfast, and you get
Irish
fish
pubs
and chips of an evening, Irish pubs, as you say. Yeah, and English beers. Anyway, we went back home. Didn't think a lot more about it. And then 2015, we were on holiday in Iceland.
Okay.
And I had a heart attack while we were in Iceland.
Oh, goodness.
That changed my perspective on things a little. So we came, actually I had a heart attack on the Thursday and we came back on the Friday. And I was sort of rushed into hospital and had an operation. And then I thought, it's time to retire. So we came back here to Portugal and started looking at properties. We started off down in the Algarve. And then we worked our way up to Coimbra.
Okay. How long did that take you?
Stopped in different places. It was, I think about 4 or 5 days we were here.
Okay, but that's still a lot of ground.
Yeah, we saw a lot of places.
Yeah.
You know, and by the end of the week, they all sort of melted into one.
It becomes a big mixture of things.
Yeah, but we finally decided on one, and on the Silver Coast here in a little village called Gaiares, which is inside Óbidos, really. It's a lovely little village.
And I mean, at that stage, were you looking with the mind of, okay, this is for a permanent move, this is going to be our permanent home. So you already decided after what happened in Finland, change of pace.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, life was too stressful. I spent nearly 50 years in engineering, and you're always under pressure in that job anyway. And Portugal was ideal for us, because obviously it's my wife's first language, her being Brazilian. So that was helpful to her and helpful to me as well. If you're coming from the UK, the Silver Coast has a very similar climate. It's like a little microclimate here. It's very similar to the UK in some respects. You know, you get a fair share of rain. It gets cold in the winter. Not as cold as the UK, but
of course, yeah.
but it gets relatively cold.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come here initially, it's warm all year.
Yeah.
But once you get acclimatized, the winters can be a little bit cold. But nothing like outside. I mean, you know, the UK, Norway, Scandinavian countries.
Yeah.
It's it's the summer. So the winter here is like the spring in the UK.
Yes.
So weather was a major factor. The other thing was the cost of living is a lot cheaper here in Portugal. It's got a little bit more expensive now.
It has got more expensive
recently,
but still by comparison.
But relatively, it's still cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, we went back to the UK last year for a friend's birthday, and I was astonished at the prices of stuff there. It's crazy, you know.
What was it about this area that you thought this feels?
Well, this to me is the real Portugal. We're fairly near to the coast here. I mean, what are we, 10, 12 kilometres off the coast in a straight line?
Yeah.
So you've got sun, sea, sand, if that's what you want. You go inland, you're in rural Portugal. You've got agriculture, wine growing areas. You know, it's a fantastic array of places that you can go to. Really centred where we are. I mean, 2 hours, you're in Spain. You know, if that's what you want to do. In the winter, you're in the sunshine. You know, temperatures rarely drop below 20, 25. I mean, we're only 4 hours from the Algarve. We can drive down there, which we do probably twice a year.
Okay.
Stay down there for a few days. Yeah. You know, it's a nice break. But yeah, this area to me is what I love. It's the real Portugal. The Algarve is lovely for a holiday. It's great. Don't get me wrong, and I would never tell people not to come. But if you want to taste Portugal, come here.
Looking for a home in Portugal? This break in Portugal, the Simple Life podcast, is brought to you by Dylan and his team of certified realtors at Portugal Realty. Portugal Realty offers the exclusive Simple Life home buyer program. Visit portugalrealty.com today and book your free call to find out more. Welcome to the Simple Life.
Let's unpack that a little bit. For you personally, when you're talking about real Portugal, what does that mean for you?
Here you see the traditional customs, traditions, the festas, the people, the real people. For example, first day we moved in to Gaiares, a lady pops around and she gives us a box of cakes. Yeah. You know, I thought, wow, you would never get that in the UK. But I get people, we come and they give us a box of oranges or a box of apples, or at Christmas time, someone always brings us a chicken. Don't they?
A live chicken?
No, thankfully no. Thankfully no, they plucked it.
Because we'll get a live chicken from one of our farmers, one of our neighbours,
Yeah, no, thankfully it's prepared.
Okay, so that's,
I'm not I'm not that close
not
to nature.
That yet.
Yeah.
That's a bit too real Portuguese.
But that's how it is here, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are generous to a fault, really.
Yeah.
And when you consider that they don't get a lot of their pensions are low, their wages are low.
Yeah.
You know, but they're still generous
They're happy
to a fault. I can go to my next door neighbour and if I need help for anything.
It's 9 years now that you've been here. There was something that brought you here, but there's also something that's kept you here for this long.
Exactly. I couldn't go back to the sort of life that I lived previously. There's a great history here, there's great traditions, great customs. That's why I love the place.
Well, tell us about your pens. I mean, tell us what keeps you busy day to day.
My pens. So as I said earlier,
I should have brought mine because I'm actually your client.
Yes.
And I must say the pen is superb. I'm very happy with it.
I should have brought a few for you to see. I really started making pens 2 years ago. For the first 5 years I was living here, I did a lot of ornamental ironwork.
Okay.
And I was making gates for people and railings and that type of thing, you know. So then 2 years ago I had to have a pacemaker fitted. So then the doc says, well, you're going to have to give up welding. You can't weld with
the pacemaker.
because the welder gives off a magnetic field and it can interfere with the pacemaker. I mean, I like the slower pace of life, but I also like something to do as well.
Of course.
So it's my hobby. It's a hobby that's turned into a small business, really, unintentionally. I just wanted to make a few pens just for something to do. But what it does, it combines my love of engineering and my love of woodwork. So there's engineering in a pen, and there's also the woodwork side where I create the body of the pen, and it's my two loves. And I fell on it on the internet. I saw someone in the USA was making pens. I thought, I wouldn't mind giving that a try. So I'm actually the only pen maker in Portugal.
Wow. Okay, there you go.
Bit of a unique situation.
And the wood that you use is all local.
So I try to source as much local wood as I can, mainly olive wood, pear, apple. I mean, this area is full of fruit trees.
Yeah.
Fruit trees everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, exactly.
So I scrounge it off people, and or I give them a bottle of wine for a twig, you know. But yeah, I've been given a lot of wood. I've also imported some more exotic woods.
Okay.
That I can make, different pens out of.
The one that I got, can you remember?
I can't remember what yours
is.
is. I think yours may have been mahogany.
Dark brown.
Dark brown, yes.
Yeah, and then my wife, she's got a bit of a mixture of lighter wood and darker wood.
Okay.
I think as well.
Yeah,
We bought two.
It's probably Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have asked you before.
Until I.
But they were good-looking pens. So
until I see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've got so many woods now. I've got sort of 50 to 60 different species of wood from all over the world, really.
I mean, you spoke previously about Portuguese people and how wonderful they are. I came in 2009. You've been here 9 years. Portugal has become incredibly popular.
It has, yeah.
Since we moved.
Yeah.
It has become incredibly popular. It is very much in vogue. Especially your Lisbon and your Porto. Algarve has always been popular in the UK.
Yeah.
You, from the beginning, spoke about the real Portugal, the real Portuguese. For people that are listening that are really thinking, I want to be in the real Portugal, I want to have a taste of the real Portugal.
I'd come and look at the Silver Coast.
Yeah. And what would you want people to know about Portugal from your perspective? Like, in a nutshell, what would you say Portugal is?
It's secure. Crime rate is very, very low here. Nothing like other countries. It's a safe country. As I said earlier, cost of living is lower than most European countries. Look at the climate. Look today.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I know we're in the middle of summer, but look, there's not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful. There's always something to do, or there's something not to do. If you want to laze around in your garden all day, so be it. If you want to say, right, we're going to have a barbecue the weekend, the likelihood is you're going to get the weather, and you can have a barbecue the weekend.
You can barbecue in winter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's one thing that you would like people to remember and take away from our conversation?
I think the people that make Portugal, and their traditions and their customs, and I would never want that to change. If that stays as it is, I'm happy with that.
Fred, a question that we ask all of our guests: Portugal, the simple life?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's simple. It's that easy. I mean, there's nothing complicated with life in Portugal. It's maybe slower, but it's a lot simpler than living in the middle of New York or London or one of the major cities, and I just love it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being on the podcast.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to let you call it.
And that's a wrap.
So thank you once again to our guest, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.